All right, we are live.
Hello, good evening, everyone. Welcome to our TED Futures CFD MT4 webinar. Okay, let's give some of the members a couple of minutes to get online before I start the program. Testing. Can you all hear me loud and clear? Good evening, Kenny and Yeson. The rest of you, can you hear me loud and clear? Okay, that's good. Loud and clear. Anyone who can't hear? Anyone who experienced some technical problems? Do let us know. Okay, are you ready to start? Is it suitable for futures traders? To a certain extent, yes, you can use the technique to trade futures as well. Some of those contracts that we have as CFDs, they are also traded as futures. In fact, CFD, the underlying is the mother share, same as futures, which underlying is usually the shares or the index itself. If you're looking at commodities, currencies, or gold or some other index futures, the underlying is the same, whether it's futures or it's CFD. Okay, so let me just go to the outline for tonight. Okay, this is the webinar outline for tonight. Tonight, I'm going to talk about US stocks. Okay, why you should concentrate on the US stocks. Okay, some of you may have a reservation because you know from the news we have a trade tariff war going on. So it is suitable to trade US stock at this moment. Later, I'll show you. I also talk about the MT4 products. Okay, on this MT4 platform itself, you have equities, you have currencies, you also have commodities. CFDs, these are CFDs products. Okay, they are traded as a CFD. They are actually based on underlying. It can be futures, it can be the shares, it can be the index itself. Okay, and the last part of it, I'll be doing some marketing for the TED Futures course. It's the TED Futures CFD plus the MT4 product. Okay, so let me just go on to the reason, okay, why you should trade US stocks. This is the chart of the US Dow Jones Index over the last 30 years or 40 years. Okay, from 1982 to the current price movement now. Okay, the performance, if you look at it over 40 years, yes, from 1982 to 2019, okay, it has moved from 730 points in the index all the way up to 26,355 over a 40 years period. If you look at it, that's the graph of the Dow Jones Index. It moved up. Okay, this is the big correction, and then this is another 10-year bull market from 2009 all the way to 2019. Okay, it has been moving higher. This is Dow Jones after 2009. Just now I show you the 40 years chart of the Dow Jones. It has rallied from 730 points to 26,355. This is a smaller time period. It is from the low in 2000 time. After the great financial crisis, we actually saw a low. Okay, that was in March 2009, and from that day onwards, the stock market in the US has rallied all the way to today. It is still considered to be in a bull market, even after the US trade tariff war. Okay, later I'll show you as well. You'll find that we have been on a 10-year bull market. It has risen from 6,462 to current 26,355. Okay, so if you look at it, the percentage gain over the last 10 years is very big. Okay, just in 2007, just now I talked about 40 years, I talked about 10 years. Now I'm going to zoom in. Okay, I'm going to zoom in on 3 years. In the year 2017, okay, in the year 2017, the index is up 25%. This is the beginning of 2017, from 19,700 to the end of 2017, 24,757. That's a gain of 25% just in 2017. Okay, in 2018, we experienced a bad market. It was down 5%. Okay, so 2018, we saw a 5% decline. This is 24,000, and the starting. Okay, let's use the end of 2017. Okay, beginning is about 24,830. It dropped to 24,000. Okay, the lowest was in December. Okay, then it managed to climb higher. The lowest was actually Christmas Eve. On the 24th of December, we saw the low. We started to climb higher from there. And from that day onwards, it has been climbing. Okay, recently, last month, in the month of April, we have the Nasdaq 100 making new historical all-time high. We also have the Nasdaq Composite making new historical all-time high. We also have the S&P making new historical all-time high. Okay, so the US has been on a rally since 2018, from the low all the way up. Okay, so in 2018, it was just a small little movement, 5% drop. And in just the first quarter of 2019 alone, we have actually recovered more than that 5% drop. Okay, for the first quarter of 2019, we are already up 16%. Okay, so if you look at it, Dow Jones, that is the main index of the US stock market. The trend is very clear. The trend is very nice. The movement is very big and very strong, and it is trending. For the past 3 years, one whole year, we are up 25% in 2017. In 2018, we are down 5%. And just the first quarter of this year, we are up 16%. In April itself, after the first quarter, the month after the first quarter, we saw a movement that created historical all-time high for the Nasdaq, for the S&P, but unfortunately, the Dow Jones did not create a new high. Okay, so Dow Jones, it has nice uptrend, and the uptrend can be big and powerful. Okay, the movement is also good, very big movement. So you can see that there is opportunity to make good money in those index movement itself. Even in the negative years, okay, when in 2018 it was down 5%. Even during that time, you have big price upward movement, and you also have strong price downward movement. So there is actually opportunity. Although the index is only down 5% during that year, there is actually big opportunity and good opportunity for you to make money during those time period itself. Okay, so what about the daily movement? Recently, I'm sure you have encountered the recent movement. Okay, there's some daily movement that we see 500 points movement up and down. These are again opportunity. And this is a chart of a 10-year cycle in the Dow Jones over the last 40 years. Okay, if you look at it, 2018, I just showed you earlier on, it was down 5%. If you remember, before we bottom out in 2009, 2008 was the bad year. It was the great financial crisis. Lehman Brothers went bankrupt, and then a lot of investment banks, even Citibank, was almost on the brink of bankruptcy during that time. Okay, so 10 years earlier on, 1998, I'm sure you remember 1998. 1997 was the Asian financial crisis. That was a bad year. Before that, in 1988, 1987 was the Black Monday, the biggest percentage decline in US market history. So you can see very clearly, the Dow Jones has the same 10-year cycle that you see in the Malaysian stock market, the KLSE. There is a similar 10-year cycle. So why do I tell you about the 10-year cycle? If you look at it, if 10-year cycle means the bottom, the year after, the market should be on a rally. The market should be going up. After 2018, the market also went up in 2008. I've just shown you this chart here. This is the year 2008. This is 2009. 2008, all those rates means they are all in negative. Okay, they decline in the year 2008 itself. But 1 year later, in 2009, you look at the number of sectors, the number of assets class that actually went positive. Okay, greater than 20%. The darker the green color, the stronger that movement. And it usually continue for at least 2 years. Okay, it continue for 2 years before you have another big correction. Then again, after 2 years, you have another big correction. After the correction, you again have good movement. Okay, 1617. Now, 18, we have all these red colors. 19, you can expect to see many green colors. We have already seen many green colors. The Dow Jones itself is already up 16 points. Even with the tariff dropped in the index itself, we are still positive, double-digit positive. Okay, so look on the bright side. After 2018, the bottom is in. 2019, you should experience a good price movement going higher. Okay, this is what I want to show you. There's opportunity. Okay, there's great opportunity going forward. So are we on the edge of another bull market itself? If you look at it, like what I've said just now, on the 17th of April, okay, the Nasdaq make a new historical high. If you look at this is a 52 weeks range. We have a new high at 7,715. That is the Nasdaq 100. Okay, the Nasdaq 100 is slightly different from the Nasdaq Composite Index that you see. The Nasdaq Composite is all the shares in the Nasdaq itself. The Nasdaq 100 is the top 100 shares in the Nasdaq exchange itself. The Nasdaq 100 is also, okay, the underlying for the futures. Okay, I have among y'all one guy who trade futures. If you trade US market futures, index futures, you'll be familiar with the Nasdaq 100. The Nasdaq 100, okay, is the underlying for the futures. it is also the underlying for the CFD as well. Okay, so we have a new high, the market has come down, but if you look at the Fibonacci retracement, it is still way above, okay, the 62%. This is the Nasdaq composite itself. Earlier on, I show you the Nasdaq 100 make a historical high on the 17th of April. On the 3rd of April, which is just 1 week ago, the broader composite index make a new high, okay, at 8,176. This is the new high on the Nasdaq composite itself. Okay, so if you look at it, the smaller index itself, the Nasdaq 100 is the top 100 companies in Nasdaq itself. Those companies, those 100 companies are strong because the Nasdaq 100 make a historical new high before the bigger composite index itself. Okay, so there's also a very important significance for tech stocks. Okay, there's a very important significance for tech stock. If you look at this, this is the stock market cycle. If you study the 3 months, okay, PFC professional certificate course, you will learn this. This is the market rotational chart. During the early bull market, okay, you have the financial, you have the technology going up. So I just showed you something. We have seen the Nasdaq 100, the Nasdaq itself. You know very well the Nasdaq is the tech stock market. The tech stocks are mostly listed on Nasdaq itself. So when the technology stocks are going up, it means that the stock market cycle, we are at this stage of the cycle, somewhere between the middle bull or the late early bull. Okay, let's take it as a middle bull. Middle bull, if you go back to just now the assets chart that I show you, we have another 1 or 2 more years before the market hit the late bull. And the late bull is when market goes defensive. You see energy sector, precious metal, utility, these sectors, okay, when people starts to buy these shares, when stock market, when investors, when fund managers, they start to buy defensive stocks. That is the time when the market is at the peak and the market is coming down. If you look at it, we are now buying technology. We have not reached that late bull stage. We are in the middle stage. In the middle stage, we probably have at least 1 year to go before the market crashed. Microsoft, I'm sure all of you are familiar with this stock, Microsoft. This is the monthly chart of Microsoft. Starting from the year 2009, you can see Microsoft climbing higher and higher and higher. At the peak, you see this point here. This was before 2009. This was in October 2007. Microsoft was $60. Now, okay, just last month, Microsoft hit a high of $125, almost double. Okay, in 10 years, the stock has doubled, or in 12 years, the stock has doubled. Microsoft is one of them. In the last webinar, on the 24th of April, I showed Intel. Intel also reached an all-time high during that time. Tech stocks are higher than what it was in the year 2007. That was the previous bull market. This is the S&P. The S&P on the 30th also make a new high, 2,954. Okay, we have some correction due to the tariff. But if you look at it, the movement is small. It could be just a correction. Today, tariff goes into effect, but the Hong Kong market did not drop much. Nikkei closed slightly off the low. Okay, so now we know this thing is affecting the market. US trade tariff, will it derail the market going forward? Trump has just said today, US at 15 more percent. From 10%, US has raised tariff to 25% on 200 million of Chinese imports into the US. It started at noon today. It went into effect at noon. China said they will retaliate against the tariff. So you can look forward to China over the next couple of days raising duties, adding tariff to US import as well. There's likely to be a tit for tat action between the two biggest economies in the world. If you look at it, tariff go into effect, the market actually did not drop lower. And if you look at it, okay, at the peak that was in February, the market, okay, the import, okay, reached the lowest. It has started to bounce. Although the tariff is down 25%, it is actually only an additional 15% more, because earlier on there was a tariff on 10%. Now we have another 15% to add it to 25%. Okay, so will the trade tariff derail the market again? What if the stock market collapse? Okay, due to no trade deal. Okay, what will happen if the tariffs are increased in place and also for the long term? Okay, to me, this is a good thing. Why is it a good thing? What do you think? If the stock market do collapse, it is good. If the stock market is bullish, I'm just as happy. Why? Because if you look at it, on the MT4 trading station, okay, platform itself, you can buy stocks, you can short stock as well. You can do it in either way. You can buy, you can sell, just like futures. For the futures market, okay, you can long the futures, you can also short the futures. There is no restriction on the futures. No restriction. In CFDs, it is also the same. It has no restriction. You can buy, you can sell, as long as you have the money in your account. There is no restriction. You do not have to cover your short. You can hold it for as long as your collaterals in your account is sufficient. And do you realize that recently, the market is very fashionable to short. Okay, recently it's very fashionable to short. Why? Because the market has gone up quite a bit. Something that it is coming down, they sell. And they like to sell because it is at the all-time high, it is near to the high, they like to sell. Whether it goes down or not, that is another matter. Not all the stock will go down. I just show you Microsoft. Microsoft has been climbing. Okay? If you look at the trade tariff, let's go back to Microsoft chart again. If you look at Microsoft, this was captured earlier in the week. Okay? If you look at it, we have a long candle in the previous month. This month, although it is still early, okay, there's no engulfing pattern inside. Okay, there's no reversal pattern inside. Okay, so you may be selling too early in the market itself. Okay, so on the MT4 station, you can long you can short. You can buy US stocks. You can actually sell US stocks. There's not just US stocks. You actually have UK stocks as well. There are a lot more instruments. I think too many for you to focus on. Okay, so it will be better for you to focus on a smaller number, be more proficient with them, know them better, rather than to go cast your net over a wide area. I've put up some of these stocks. Apple is a favorite name. All of you know Apple. Cisco, most of you should know. eBay, everybody is very familiar with. Facebook, who doesn't know Facebook? Intel, Microsoft, Netflix. Okay, Netflix is interesting because Netflix, okay, may have reached its high. Okay, Netflix may have reached its high, okay, because Disney is going to come in to fight with them on the streaming. Okay, content-wise, I think Disney is stronger than Netflix itself. Okay, PayPal, Snap, Telstar, Twitter. Okay, all these are familiar names that you know. Okay, you can just play Apple every day. It has good, nice movement. Okay, and then there are global indices. You have the US 30, which is actually a proxy for the Dow Jones itself. You have the US NDX, which is a proxy, a CFD proxy for the Nasdaq 100. And then, guess, what is this? US 500 cash. Anyone wants to make a guess? Anyone wants to make a guess? What is this US 500? Anyone? Okay, Nicholas Cow, S&P 500. Yes, US cash 500, okay, is the S&P 500. Okay, so you got other foreign indices as well, like UK 100. You also have the French and the German. Okay, just concentrate on this couple is enough. You are US 30, which is a proxy for the Dow Jones, the Nasdaq, the S&P 500. And if you are free in the afternoon, okay, if you are free in the afternoon, you can trade the German index itself. This is very volatile. Okay, so it's very good for scalpers. It is very good for short-term traders. Okay, so any question before I go on? Okay, any question before I go on? Anyone got any question before I go on? Okay, no question. Let me just continue. Okay, the broker that we are using on the MT4 platform itself is ADSS. Okay, this MT4 platform itself, okay, this MT4 platform itself, you can trade global equity. Okay, just now I shown you, you have US shares. Okay, you have currency CFDs. You have precious metal, you have commodity. So with just one account on one MT4 platform itself, one account to control all market, one account can trade global equity, you can trade currency, gold, silver, other commodities as well. There are many more. Okay, and for MT4 itself, there's no restriction. You can long, you can short. All those that you see on the platform, in the platform itself, you can go long, you can go short. There's no restriction. Okay, so this is the best part of it. If you look at it, there are more shares inside here. You have JC Penny. I do not know whether you know some of the other shares. Okay, there's also this Hong Kong share called Tencent. How many of you know? How many of you have heard about Tencent? Anyone knows about Tencent? You have Dropbox. Anyone uses Dropbox or Spotify? Okay, at the bottom here, you can see there's coffee as well. Someone knows about Tencent. Anyone trade coffee here? Isaac trade coffee. Okay, so there are many opportunities. There are many opportunities on the MT4 platform itself. If one market doesn't move, you can trade another different market. If this commodity doesn't move, coffee doesn't move, you can always go to precious metal. If gold doesn't move, you can always look at indices. Indices, if it's in a bearish trend, okay? If indices is in a bearish trend, you can always short it. You can also play a more sophisticated strategy. We call that the CFD pair trade. I give you one example. Just now I was talking about Netflix. I was also talking about Disney. Disney announced last month that it is going into streaming, okay, content streaming. That means you're going to get a Disney channel. Disney is going to fight Netflix in this content area. As a parent, would you subscribe to Disney or would you subscribe to Netflix? Disney do not just have cartoon. Disney have good and also very popular movies. Netflix will have a hard time trying to fight with Disney. If you look at it, Disney price has gone up quite a lot after the announcement. So you can actually do a CFD pair trading strategy. Long Disney, short Netflix. Okay, this is a more sophisticated trading strategy that you are going to learn in the 3-day course itself. And if all fails, if the market comes crashing down, if you don't like to short the US indices, there's still the most liquid assets, the most traded product in the world that you can take advantage of. US dollar is the king now. US dollar has been the king for the past 2 years. This is the second year. US is going to be the king because very simple reason. US currently has the highest interest rate. Just think about it. In many countries, I'm not very sure whether you have that in Malaysia. Some of the banks offer you fixed deposit in a foreign currency because it pays you higher interest. US currently has a 2.5% interest rate. It is the highest among the G7 currency, the highest, okay, compared to the euro, compared to the yen, sterling, Aussie. Okay, so these few currencies, their 6-month to 1 year trend is bearish against the US dollar. The US dollar will be strong. In currency, the currency with the higher interest rate usually stays strong. Why? Because of financing costs, because of carry trade. You can borrow a currency with a lower interest, convert that currency into a higher interest, and then you put your money in the US stock market, you put it the US dollar, you can buy treasury which pay a higher interest rate, you can buy US stocks that has gone up 16% in one quarter. Okay, so that's the reason the US will stay strong and the currency trend is good. Okay, so I come to the end of the second section. Do you have any question that you want to ask? Okay, Tencent owns WeChat, that is true. Tencent has a lot of games that people play and pay money to play the game. Okay, so this is Tencent, and Tencent not only has WeChat gaming, Tencent has many other things itself. Tencent is quite similar to Alibaba. Okay, Alibaba is more into retail, okay, shoppings, but Tencent is more into communications. Okay, so all of you are familiar with Tencent. So this is another avenue for you to take a look at Tencent. The Tencent is actually a single stock. Okay, it is not the same as it is based on the underlying of the shares listed on the Hong Kong Stock Exchange. Okay, the share price is $17 US, somewhere around there. So you can play with this stock. Tencent has good daily movement. Tencent also has good volume. Okay, MT4 do not have call or put options. MT4 do not have options. There's no option. You have only CFDs on the shares itself. So you do not need option because you can long, you can short. So it is the same. Okay, it doesn't have call put options. It doesn't offer options at the moment, but you can partake in the option strategy by doing the CFD, either long or short. Okay, so any other question before I go on? How many of you have traded foreign stocks or foreign futures? Anyone who has traded foreign stocks, foreign futures? Anyone who have traded US stocks? Okay. Yes, some question. We teach you, okay? We teach you the strategy. We teach you the technique, okay? We recommend you use ADS because we are also going to use this MT4 from ADS. You can use any broker that you want. You can use Maybank broker, okay? It is up to you. In CFD, meaning no dividend on share, okay? In CFD, you do not own the underlying, but as a beneficiary owner, you are entitled to foreign or to corporate action. So you are entitled to the dividend if you are long. But if you are short, you will have to pay the dividend once it goes X. Okay, so this is being fair to both sides, to the buyer and to the seller. The buyer, because once the stock goes X dividend, the share price will drop. He will suffer, okay, because of a drop in dividend. It will cause his portfolio price to drop, okay. So we will compensate the dividend back, okay, credit to the cash account. On the other hand, okay, for someone who has short the shares with dividend, X dividend, the share price will drop. He will have gain from the share price drop. But this share price drop, if it's due to the dividend, he has to pay back to the dividend. So Dividend, if you are long, you receive it. If you are short, you'll be deducted from your account. Okay, foreign stocks. Okay, for foreign stocks, if you trade US stocks, you'll find that US stocks has velocity, US stocks has liquidity, and US stocks has cheap commissions. This is the advantage of US stocks. The volatility is there, the velocity is there. The price can go up, can go down, okay, within a day, very fast. You can do short-term trading with foreign stocks like US stocks. Okay, you can do day trading just like you do day trading for futures. Okay, there's no Bitcoin on the MT4 itself. Okay, any more questions before I go on? Okay, there's no Bitcoin, so let me just go on. Okay, leverage, yes, there's leverage for MT4. The leverage is about, okay, it range from 20 times to 400 times. For stocks, okay, it depends on the stock itself, just like margin account. Some of the safer stocks, the margin is lower. Some of the smaller companies, the margin is higher. Okay, so it depends on the product that you are using. Okay, for currency, it can go up to 400 times. For stock indices, it can go up to 20 times. For stocks, it will depend. Okay, it can range from 10 times to 1 or 2 times. It depends. Okay, so is the MT4 similar to eToro? eToro is more of a social trading platform. Social trading means you find someone, okay, who is trading on the eToro platform itself, and this person, if he's making a lot of money, you want to follow his trade, you just buy into his trading patterns. eToro will take care of that. Sorry, ADS do not offer this facility. Okay, so it is not exactly the same as eToro. There is financing costs. Okay, because you borrow money, you only pay 10% or you pay 20% of the product cost. The other part of it you don't have. Financing costs will be charged, and financing cost is usually charged on the full contract amount. It is not just on 80% or 90% of the value. It is charged on the full contract amount. Okay, so let me just go on to the TED futures course. Okay, we are going to conduct a TED futures course conducted by me. Okay, you'll be CFDs plus MT4. Okay, so when is it? The date is on the 18th, 19th, and the 20th of May. We're going to have this course. It is a 3-day course, 2 full days of classroom lesson. On 20th, which is a Monday, we're going to have 2 live trading sessions. That means you're going to put into practice what you have learned over the weekend on Monday, guided by me and also the F1 team. Okay, to put what you have learned into practical usage, we will lead the trading. You can follow. You will also learn to analyze the charts and also to understand the market. Okay, so it's a 3-day course on the 18th, 19th, and the 20th of May. This is the course content. We talk about the MT4. Many of you are not familiar with the products. Okay, so we'll go through the products. Like, what are the products that you can trade? There's US stocks. US stocks, what is the leverage? What is the financing cost? And also, what is the comp? And also, you will learn about the commodities as well. So we'll talk about gold, how you can trade gold, what you need to know about gold, okay, the leverage, the commission, also the financing, as well as the leverage. MT4, many of you are not familiar with the MT4 station itself. Okay, this MT4, we will have a hands-on trading session during the live trading using the MT4. But before we do that, okay, we will teach you how to navigate. We will teach you all you need to know about the MT4 trading platform. Fibonacci trading strategy, momentum trading strategy, and Ichimoku. Okay, so these are integrated. It can also be traded on its own. It can also be used on its own, but it is meant to be integrated into a trading strategy. Ichimoku will give you the direction. Ichimoku will tell you the trend. Fibonacci can be used to predict where this trend will lead to, where at the price you should exit. Momentum oscillators like MACD and stochastic, these are the two things that I will talk about. These momentum oscillators will tell you what is the stage of the market. If the market is overbought, what should you do? If the market is oversold, what should you do? Sometimes the momentum oscillators can be wrong. Overbought situation can persist for a longer period of time. So how do we overcome it? Okay, how do you overcome the false signal from the overbought indicators itself? Okay, so these are the things that I will cover. And these three technique itself, Fibonacci, momentum, and Ichimoku, it can be used on almost all products. It can also be used for all, whether it's futures, whether it's CFDs, or even equities itself. It can be used as long as there's a nice price movement, there's liquidity, the price is not controlled like a penny stocks controlled by syndicate. This technique can be used. There's also a gap theory. The gap theory is used mainly for stocks. When a stock gap up, it is usually a sign of strong buying momentum or strong selling momentum. So the gap theory, I have simplified gaps into reversal gap and trending gap. If you see a gap, is this a trending gap or is this a reversal gap? If it's a trending gap, how to enter into that trend itself? Okay, a box technique itself, it's quite simple, but it can use to simplify. Okay, help you to see a trend clearer. It can also be used on multi-time frame. Then there's also risk and money management as well as trading psychology. To me, in trading, the most important is money and risk management. In trading, the most important thing is money and risk management. So you will learn about money and risk management. You also learn about trading psychology. What we teach you, you also need to apply. But you also need to learn how to control your fear and also control your greed. Okay, so this is meant to be a comprehensive course over a 3-day period. It will give you an understanding, a good grounding of the fundamental knowledge that you need, okay, to stay profitable. The course itself, okay, these are the things that you will learn. You learn the Ichimoku technique, how to apply MACD and stochastic, okay, to work with the Ichimoku. What is the box method? Okay, apply these techniques onto MT4 products. MT4 has a wide range of products. You have US stocks, you have US indices, you have Forex, and you have gold. Okay, so basically, there are many choices. Sometimes it can be too big for you. You may even want to concentrate on one particular sector itself. Like, okay, you want just to concentrate on US stocks, or you just want to concentrate on the US stock indices, the Dow Jones and the Nasdaq. Okay, or some of you just want to trade gold. Gold has some good movement recently. Then we also teach you about CFD. CFD stands for contract for different. Okay, so contract for different, it is something like a futures. It is a derivative product. The underlying can be US stocks, it can be stock indices, it can be Forex, it can be gold. Okay, so the more important thing is we'll teach you how to make use of CFD, not just directional movement, but also pair trading strategy. And also we teach you how to manage a portfolio like a hedge fund manager. A hedge fund manager goes long and goes short at the same time. They are hedged, and yet they can produce better results. They can produce better return. It is all due to reducing risk and reducing delta. Okay, so you learn about all these techniques, how to improve your risk management without sacrificing your gains. In fact, if you get it right, you can make money in both ways. The products itself, the CFD product, I've said that we have US shares. What is the advantage of trading CFD over stocks? Stocks, very simple. If you go to Maybank broker, can you short Maybank? In CFD, you can go short. You can short foreign shares. You can short US shares as well. Okay, so Malaysian shares, there is also CFDs. You can short the Malaysian shares. Okay, but US stocks has a greater number of stocks that you can long and you can short. CFD offers you an advantage. CFD is just like a margin account. It is on leverage. So you, with a small capital, you can actually trade a bigger amount. There's also currency. During the course itself, I also teach you about the characteristics of each individual currency. The major currency, US dollar, the euro dollar, sterling, and the yen. Okay. Characteristics. Know these characteristics, and sometimes you can predict the behavior of this currency pair price movement. I have been trading currency for 30 years. Okay, so I've seen currency 30 years. I know them inside out. There's no other better person if you want to learn currency. Commodities, gold, same. 30 years I have traded gold. During this course itself, okay, let me just repeat again. 2 full days. On the 18th and the 19th, you will come down to F1 Academy. It will be a theory lesson. You will learn all the knowledge that you need for that 1 day of live trading on the Monday itself. That is the 20th. That live trading is from 3 p.m. to 5 p.m. This is the London hours. When London is in, you can look at commodities like gold. You can look at currency. You can also look at the US indices, the futures. Okay. You can also look at the DAX. You can also look at the UK shares. You can also look at the FTSE 100 index. Okay. You can long, you can short. 8:30 p.m. to 10:30 p.m. we will concentrate on the US market. Okay. So US stocks, US indices, plus If we can see some currency movement, some gold movement, we will do that as well. We recognize that you may not be fully proficient after a 3-day course. That is why we offer a 1-month support by Telegram group. During that 1 month itself, okay, we will tell you, okay, these are the stocks to look out for. Why? Oh, because it is breaking out of the Ichimoku cloud. Because there is a MACD pattern, okay, with stochastic. These are the things to watch out for. We will help you to analyze the stocks that you are looking. After that 1 month, you should be able to be proficient. You will be able to do it on your own. There's also a newsletter to tell you in advance, okay, what are the stocks that could move, what are the stocks we see as potential movers, either up or down, potential, watch out, look out for them, take care of them, they can make you money. Okay, again, the course itself, 18-19 is the theory lesson. Live trading is on the Monday itself, 3 to 5, and again, 8:30 to 10:30. Why do we have the live session? Why do we have the Telegram? Okay, many of you, if you have attended courses before, if you have traded before, you will know, okay, I pull out a chart, historical chart. It is very easy for you to make decision because you already know what happened. So you don't really have to make use of your imagination. Okay, so that is why, okay, we have a practical real-time practice. Right at that moment, you have to make up your mind whether to buy or to sell. And you only have a split second. So you need to know your stuff well because you have no time to look through your notes. You have no time to consult. Okay? You will find that live trading is very different from theory. Okay, so we are using this opportunity, the live trading session plus the Telegram support, as an opportunity to expose you to the world of real trading. Okay, practice in a real-time trading environment and making decisions in real time and on the spot. Okay, you'll find it very, very useful. You'll find that you need to know more than what you think you know if you really want to do well. Okay, so before I end, just let me remind you, there are 3 types of people. People who watch things happen. People who make things happen. And people who really don't know what is happening. Okay, so decide which type you want to be. Join the TAD futures course. Join the Tech futures course. Make money while it happens. Be the type of people who make things happen. For the fee itself, there are 2 categories. One is for public, the other one is for F1 members. Okay, so if you need to know more, you can talk to Amy. Okay, if you need to know more, Amy, this is her number, and Cherry, this is her number. You can contact them, or you can email F1 on Facebook. You can private message them as well. Okay, F1, Cherry, Mary, or Amy. Okay, and know the fee. Okay, so before I end, I'm sure you have a lot of questions. Okay, if you have the question, you can shoot now. I'm ready to tackle them. Any question? Anyone? Any questions? Anyone? Any question?
Okay, guys, just to interrupt a bit. By the way, you guys can hear me or not?
Yes, I can hear you.
Okay. You see on the right hand side, there's a pop up where there's a button where it says click to register with Amy. If let's say if you have further questions about TAP futures, you can actually click on it. It will actually bring you to Amy's Telegram, where you can actually private message with her, and we will try to answer you from there lah. If let's say later on you have any further questions.
Any question? Early on, you have many questions. Now, I suppose the materials that I covered answer most of your questions.
Cheryl is asking, what forex pairs do you usually trade?
Okay, during the course itself, I will tell you which are the pairs to watch out for. Okay, there are statistical numbers that you can look out for. If you look at those statistical numbers, you will know which pair to trade. Okay, and just now I mentioned, okay, let me just go back to the slides again. Okay, let me just move back to where I talk about. Okay, look at this. Characteristics of individual currencies. Okay, so if you know the characteristics of those currency pairs, you will know which one to trade. Okay, so let me just give you a little bit of clue. For me, I normally look at the US dollar. Okay, so the US dollar, I will look at Euro against the US, I'll look at US against the Yen, I'll look at Sterling against the US dollar, I also look at Aussie against the US dollar. Normally, I concentrate on the major currencies, and normally I look at the US dollars against other currency. Okay, so currencies, there are numbers that you can look out for. There are markets, okay, during certain time, certain currency pairs will move in that situation. During certain time, you'll find that currencies move more in a certain period of time. There are 24 hours in a day. Currency do not move in all 24 hours in a day. Currency do sleep during certain time of the day, and they move a lot during their respective market. Okay, when their respective market is in, those currencies will tend to move more. Although it moves 24 hours a day, there are certain time period where they will move more. Okay, so this gives you a clue when to sit in front of your computer and watch them and trade them. If you're going to follow them 24 hours, after 3 days, you'll become a zombie. Okay, so just let me repeat the question again. What pairs do I trade? Okay, for me, I usually look at the dollar comparison. Look at the major dollar against the euro, dollar against the yen, sterling against the dollar, and also the Aussie against the dollar. These are the 4 main currencies that I trade. Okay, so does that answer your questions? Any more questions? We still have some time. Keep them coming. How many of you attended the webinar on the 24th? I see many new names today. How many of you actually attended the webinar on the 24th of April? Anyone? Okay, for the fee, I said just now, there's a public, there's a number for public. There's also a special discount for F1 student. So if you are an F1 student, you get a special discount. And if you are public joining us for the first time, there's also another numbers. Can we have the numbers? Okay, do you have to subscribe to any software? Okay, there's no need for you to subscribe to any software. MT4 comes free. Okay, so you can use the broker MT4 station to do your chart analysis, to do your charting tools. I will also be giving you some MT4 indicators as well, so you can make use of them. Okay, I'll give you some MT4 indicators as well, so you can make use of them. They help you in your charting. Okay, they help you to make analysis as well. And sometimes they can also provide a trading strategy. Okay, the indicators itself sometimes can provide a trading strategy for you as well. Okay, so there is no need to pay additional fee to subscribe to any charting software. The software comes with the broker. It is free. Okay, so the fee is there. Okay, click on the link and then you will be able to see the course fee. Okay, so there's one more week to go before the course starts. Okay, on the 18th, on the 19th, and on the 20th. We do not have much time. You also do not have much time. You have to make a decision whether you want to come for this course. There are many new things to learn. So it is a decision you have to make. Do you want to change your life? Do you want to make a major decision in your life? Okay, so this is a decision that you have to make. 7 days before the course starts, try not to register too late because we need to print the notes. Okay, we're going to send it to the printer. We need to print the notes. We need to get everything ready. Okay, so does Amy has any additional information on the fee, venue for participants here tonight? Okay, as I said, the venue will be at F1, okay, on site. What happens if you are not available or not able to make it to KL on that day? Okay, anyone? Any question? One final question. If no question, we would like to call it an end. F1 team, do you have anything for them?
I just uploaded a price at the site where you can see the price there is all before SST. So if you've got any question, you just click on the button to contact Amy, because Amy will be the one who will talk to you on all the things, like the pricing and all. If you want to know about the pricing, you can ask Amy.
Okay, anyone else? Any question that you want to know? Okay, earlier on somebody asked, okay, 1 point in the S&P is equal to $1 for one standard lot. Okay, so it's the same for the US indices as well. Okay, for Dow Jones, 1 point is $1 US. So it is very simple. If the market move 300 points and you manage to capture 200 points, you make $200 US. Okay, on just one lot itself. Okay, very simple, very good movement for the Dow Jones, even for the Nasdaq itself. Very good movement intraday, during a 3-day period, or even during a longer term trend itself. Okay, any final question before I end? Okay, if no more question, we will end the webinar here. Thank you all for taking part in this webinar. I hope you learned something useful. I also hope to see you for the course next week. Okay, so we do not have much time. I hope you can make up your mind. Okay, sign up for the course as soon as possible. F1 needs to make preparation for the course itself, material, and also arrangement. Okay, so thank you all for attending the webinar tonight. I hope to see you again next week. I hope you learned something useful today. I hope you acquire some new knowledge. Okay, thank you all very much. Have a good night. I hope to see you again. Goodbye.